G'day, welcome back to Smoother's Backyard, and we're back on to the 1974 ZG Fairlane project. Today we're going to see if the engine will turn over, and then maybe if it turns over well, we might even see if it'll fire off, hopefully. We've never done that before, so wish us luck. What do you got there, Lawson?
I got some spark plugs and some leads for the
Spark plug leads?
Spark plug leads, yeah.
That's it. That's what we call them.
Yeah.
Alright, so we need to get this beast a little bit out of the shed. Pull it out of the garage, just out to here somewhere, so we can get around to the driver's side door, because there's just not enough room in there. Lawson's got to climb in through the rear passenger side to get to the driver's side, because it's just too tight down there, just to take it out of park. So that's the gear stick selector thing on that side, Lawson. The big, yeah, just pull it towards you and then down one. That'll do. Lawson's giving it a push. The tyres are a little flat. They stay up for about a month or so. Get right behind it. And don't get squashed behind it. So many trucks. They're just building houses everywhere down the road, so there's trucks and cranes, and here he goes. Look at Muscles go here pushing the 2-ton beast. Go, Muscles! Of course, when it comes out here, it's going to roll, and I'm going to have to run around and throw it in park. Another heave-ho, and it'll be on its way. There we go. Here it goes. It's free. It's just rolling free. It's rolling free. Don't roll too far free. Right. That's what you call a park brake. You start in park. What'd you bang your knee on?
The back of it.
On the tow bar?
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. Alright, lift the bonnet. There we go. There she is, the big, well, it's small really, but it's a V8. It's a 302. And, well, yeah. Let's see what we can do in here. We've got a can of WD with the long flexi nozzle thing on it, so we can just spray a little bit into each cylinder. Yeah, we'll find the holes. Is that even supposed to work? Ah, trick. There we go. Get a little amount in each one. There we go. Getting that one as good as I can, but it's really hard to get to. And I don't know what this big piece of hose pipe here has just got the earth lead running through it, but it's in the way. I should just cut it off, I suppose. I'm sure that's in the hole. I think it is. Sounds full. This is learning how to use a shifter. Take that nut off there. Take the air filter off. adjusted down so it fits on it, does it? Yeah, that's it. Alright, one air filter. One dirty looking. Oh, yuck. Oh, that's just gross. Look at that. Look at that. That is
Right.
just red dirt crud. How about this? Yep, that just comes off. That's good. Let's look at this. That's just thick with red dirt. So how much of that didn't get into the engine, I'm not quite sure, but the air filter is caked in it. So, and there's none on the inside, so that's good. Yeah, but yeah, that Outback Queensland red dust gets into everything. And moves freely there. Is that the choke? I don't know. Must be vacuum. I don't know. Somehow that works. I can't move it by hand, but this accelerator cable just totally. Well, that's the little rubber boot that's fallen into a million pieces. This cable, can you see that there? This cable just totally snapped off, so it was all frayed, and now it's disappeared into the cable there, so that won't work for sure. But that's free enough. A little fuel pump there. There's probably a squirter pump, I suppose that is. Anyway, it's a little single barrel. I don't know what sort of carby that is. I'm not a carby person. Anyway, we'll so where are we up to? We've got all the spark plugs are out, and we've sprayed WD-40 into all the cylinders. I don't know if that's the best stuff to use, but it's better than using nothing, I guess. And just got the air filter off, and the other day off camera, I think we actually got down onto the crank bolt down the bottom, down where the harmonic balancer is, and got a big breaker bar on there, and we did actually get the engine to turn over by hand, albeit very stiff, because it appears that the water pump's totally seized. So I'm going to have to take this belt off that wraps around the water pump if we're going to have a go at just getting the engine to turn over. So this belt here actually is in good nick, and it's nice and tight, and so is the one on the air conditioning pump, but I think I'll just try and get those off for the purposes of turning the engine over. There's just one plug still in. I thought maybe it was stuck, or because all the others were out. 7 of them were out. This one is still in. So I thought, oh, they must have had a lot of trouble. So I thought that's going to be great. But I just got the spark plug socket and ratchet on there, and it's coming out, I don't know, easy as any other spark plug will come out. So it's not, I don't want to speak too soon, but it's almost out. So I can free spool my fingers. I remember Dad used to have one of these articulated spark plug wrenches that had like 2 or 3 uni joints in it, and it would go down and slot in there, and then you could turn it from up here, and it would, I don't know, I haven't seen one of those for years, so I don't know if you can still get them. Ta-da! Well, it's got WD-40 on it from where I tried to spray inside the hole. The hole was taken. Alright, very good. Lawson's just grabbing a battery. That was out of the Cruiser. The Land Cruiser, that is. So just pop it up here. Pop it up there on on the guard for a minute. It's the Lion brand. It's got the carry handle, which is handy. Negative, positive, might have to spin that around. Negative. Anyway, this I thought was a... Now I might have to spin that. This black battery cable here actually goes down to the starter motor, so definitely positive. It's definitely the wrong colour. Anyway, because this one here bolts straight to the engine block, I think. If I can see beyond those pipes. Yeah, it's definitely bolted to the inlet manifold there, so that's got to be a negative. Plus this one has wires going off onto this ignition thingy. These are the right size terminals. Well, that one is. This one could be a bit... Anyway. Alright. So, battery's connected. I don't see any smoke or fires. So that's good. We're just going to take these fan belts, pulley belts off. I've managed to loosen the bolt on the power steering pump, which has the adjustment for the belt. So just got to ease it around a bit. And I need to undo the pivot bolt as well. It's definitely looser. Just heaps looser, but I don't know if it's enough to get it off. Of course the pivot bolt's a different size. Alright, that's a bit looser. Get the gentle persuader out again. Oop, try not to hit the air conditioning lines. Has it moved? I think it has. It's really loose now. Can you see that? It's but it's not super free. Let's squirt some WD-40 juice on it. WD-40 juice on it. Mils pretty close. Wrong way. Ooh, that's a ½ inch job. Hold that thought. Here we go. Here's a ½ inch ratchet. I can see us getting some new tools during this project. Alright, that's a bit loose. Get the gentle persuader out again. What do you call it? Power steering pump belt off. But this air conditioning pump's in front of all three belts, so I might have to undo that. Just get all the belts off and get them out of the way. But obviously they have to come off in series and thread them off over the fan. So this is the air conditioning. I think that's the air conditioning bolt adjuster. I might need a breaker bar on that one. Ow! Yep. Blood. Ouch. on that. What's that? 22. I don't want to get into that big ship. Alright. I'm gonna have to get a band-aid. Bleeding there, really. There's one inch off. That's pretty good. That's a air conditioning pump belt. What's next? The alternator belt that's just been hanging around, not doing anything because there's no alternator. Oh, where's that going now? Right. Alternator belt. And this is the power steering pump belt. We're belt free. Alright, so we should be getting close to being able to just see if this engine will turn over with the key. Don't know if the ignition works, or if you hook that up there, we just do what you're not supposed to do and tap that on with a hammer. That's that. Alright. Should we do it?
Yep.
Yeah? Alright. Key's in the ignition and it's stuck there. We don't know how to get it out, but it does turn the ignition, and now the battery's hooked up. Nothing caught on fire. That could be just because nothing works. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what happens if we turn the key. Starter motor sounds bad. Is that just the starter motor? I'll get you to turn the key, Lawson, so I can see if the crank's actually turning or if it's just the starter motor.
Alright.
It's still running. So Lawson's going to turn the key. What do we got? No, we got turnage. Keep going. Yeah, I can feel air coming out of those spark plug holes in the heads. That'll do. That's enough turning. And I can smell the WD-40 being sprayed out. So yeah, cool. Turns over. So the engine's cranking over with the battery, so that's good. Noisy birds. And I guess the next thing to do is throw those new spark plugs in. Try and figure out the firing order. Might have to Google that and run the leads to the plugs. We'll try and turn it over. We'll turn it over then, and we'll see if we've got spark. We'll have to figure out how to test that too. And if we've got spark, then we'll tip a little bit of fuel down the carby and see what happens. Alrighty, so we've just hooked up a little test to see if we've got power to the coil, and we've hooked up a bit of a wire to the negative side of the coil there, and we just touched that on some metal there. We've got zappage, but when we do that, I've got a spark plug in the end of the coil wire sitting down here on the top of the head there, and you should be able to see where the spark plug fires off or not. Yep, can we see that? We've got spark at the end of that spark plug, so there. And it's blue, so that looks good, purpley blue. So yeah, we've got, so far we've got power. The coil works, it means the coil works, and so we should be able to get power out of the coil into the distributor. That's our next check, and then see if we can get some spark at the end of the spark plug leads through the spark plugs, or at least one. Alright. Well, it's tomorrow. We worked on it yesterday for a bit, and we got one bank of spark plugs in, but what we found on the other side is the air conditioning hoses and the heater hoses and some other hose all get in the way. Really hard to get down there to get these spark plugs in, but we're getting there. We've got 3 in. We've worked from the back to the front. The easiest ones to the hardest ones. We've got the last front passenger side. spark plug to get in now, and Lawson's just getting that set up. Just saying, I think we discovered yesterday, I thought we had a Windsor motor, but apparently these come out with a Cleveland motor in them, so this is a 302 Cleveland, not a Windsor. I don't know if earlier in the filming we talked about it being a Windsor or not.
I think we did.
You did?
Maybe.
Maybe. And I think this is the firing order for a early model small block Ford 302. Apparently the 351's different. Yep, that'll do. You don't want too tight.
Done.
Awesome, Lawson. So, spark plug leads in that order, hopefully. Got them. New spark plug leads. Two to two is going to be the shortest. So I'll use the shortest one on what should be 2, which is that one there. Turn a bit of this on here. Nice and snug. Alright, that'll do, and we'll just there's power in the points. Don't know where the timing's sitting at because it's been loosened off and it's just moving all over the place. But see, it doesn't look like it's ever been taken out, so it can't be in backwards or anything, surely. But yeah, it's got a bit of adjustment there. We've just cut the fuel line, but that's totally bone dry, so it's probably not going to give any fuel pumping through the pump because I don't think there's any in the tank. This is a bit of 2-stroke fuel. So, new plugs are in, new leads are on, as per our internet firing order. The only thing we can do right now, I think, is just tip a bit of fuel in the carby and see. Not that much, maybe. See what happens if we kick it in the guts.
Yep.
A little bit more 2-stroke juice down the carby. Alright, give her, turn her over. Give it one more kick now. Yeah. Yep. Okay. The flame came out of the.
It's like the.
Yeah, it came out of the back of the carby where there probably should be a vacuum hose, 1/4 inch vacuum pipe at the back that's just vacant.
I saw the same thing.
Yeah, that's where it shot out of.
Yeah.
There's one out the front too. What are those? What are they for? On the base of the carby there's 2 ports. One at the front, one at the back. and they're like, you know, 15mm size pipe, and I'm thinking they're a vacuum hose for something, but they're just vacant. There's no hoses on them. So, and a flame just shot out of the back one, which is a good sign because it means we've got some spark there. But we're going to have to plug those off, so I'll get some. All right, give it a crack. Nothing. Try that. Rolling. Well, it's a different day. We had to go at firing it off the other day, and we were getting just backfiring through the carby, and thought it might be just some vacuum issues. I haven't really sorted that out, but I slept on it and I thought, am I looking at the right thing for the firing order? Because I figured out it's a Cleveland, right? So yeah, did say it was a Windsor, but no, it's a Cleveland. Don't know much about Fords, so, and don't know much about most cars really, but probably grew up a Holden man rather than a Ford guy. But so it's a Cleveland. And then I thought, are these different to the American? I know Ford Australia built these motors, so are these different? Did they do a different firing order? Maybe they did. So I searched the Google machine, and guess what? The 302 firing order for an Australian Cleveland, a 302C, is the same as a 351, which was different on previous searches that I did. So I'd had it set up with this firing order here, and I look at it that way, is the way the engine's, and so, you know, it was whatever, whichever way it goes, 1, 5, 4, 2, 6, 3, 7, 8, which I believe is correct for a Windsor, or it should have been this firing order here, which is 1, 3, 7, 2, 6, 5, 4, 8, running anti-clockwise. And so we've just set it up like that. Hopefully, we don't know what these motors like. We don't even know if it, I know it's got spark. It's firing. It's backfiring. So, and I've tested the spark plug at just on some grounded metal, and there's spark coming to 2 different spark plugs that I tested. So we've got now hopefully the correct firing order, and we just want to see if it'll fire, and you know, maybe it'll run. Who knows? But I don't think the carby will be good. I know the water pump seized, but if we can get it to run, we'll just play with it for a while. And yeah, it might need rebuilding, but we're just going to see what we've got right here, right now. So yeah. So the other thing I did was I did the stick your thumb in the #1 cylinder hole and took the spark plug out and felt for the compression stroke, and found somewhere close to top dead center, and made sure that #1 spark plug lead is pointing where the dizzy cap or the rotor button is pointing. So it's pointing now to #1, and so many cars and buses and trucks going past, it makes it really hard to talk for you to hear me. But yeah, so we've lined up #1 to top dead center ish. And hopefully now I've got the right firing order, and so we're going to throw some fuel down the carby right now, turn the key, and see what happens. fuel just leaked out of the shaft in the carby. Oh. Alright, now everything's clear. Yep, alright, well, give it a go. Alright. Stop. Give it another go. Almost wants to. Close that choke a bit. See what happens. Way back. Try it again. That's better. Okay. Up. Fuel. Not too much. Try that. Up. Tiny adjustment, go. There you go. She fires.
Got it.
That's. I don't even know if we want to fire it any more than that, because that's proof that it'll fire, and it sounds like it's going to run. There's a whole bunch of things there that, like that carby, is going to be pretty shot, I reckon. There's no water pump, so we don't want to run it for any length of time. And the oil's really bad. It smells like petrol, probably from all what we've done, and if anyone's tried it before, it just smells awful. One more little go. I don't know, it just felt satisfying to hear it fire, so yeah, maybe we'll do it. Yeah, alright, one more go.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, so she fired pretty successfully there, so yeah, we'll go ahead and do a few other things, and it definitely needs a new dizzy cap, because the little carbon tip right in the center where the coil goes in, that fell out, so there's just a spring. so if we can fire off a bad dizzy cap and probably a bad carby, it actually sounds like it wants to run alright, but it couldn't hear any bad noises, but it obviously hasn't run for very long, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, maybe we'll find another carby and throw it on there, eh? Yeah. So I think that might do it for this episode. We've proved that the engine does fire, so that's good. That was a bit of fun trying to get it going. Very frustrating there for a minute while we couldn't figure out what the firing order, well, we had it wrong. You know, we're learning a lot along the way. We learnt that we don't have a Windsor, we have a Cleveland. Don't know much about Fords, and we're learning a bit more about them. And we know that we've got an engine that turns over for a start. We found that we had spark, we found top dead center, found the right firing order, got some fuel in there, and actually got that engine to kick over. So that was a bit of fun. And yeah, so who knows, I don't know what we'll do next, something, but yeah, keep subscribed and click like and the share button and whatever, and look out for the next episode of Smooth's Backyard. It may be on the Fairlane, it might be on something else, but we'll get back to the Fairlane pretty soon. Catch you next time.